Hindi ako komportable, Pastor. I would say that I may change my mind because I said it's an act of humanitarian interest. It's pity, if you might want to use the word. It's more of a concern of to embrace another human being. To say that as a human being, we are here in this planet, however temporary, that I can be of help to you. But in this case, maybe I said, but I would want to know what was the vetting done. Did it include the Philippines? We would be considered a host country at the time, and were we informed of that process at the times, we could have possibly not really intervene, but on our own also act independently of the Americans to realize whether these foreign nationals now, Afghan nationals, are really above suspicion vis-a-vis with the threat of terrorism in our country. Sa Amerika, may terrorism. We have a good share of terrorists there. At saka, pang-isa pa, Pastor, is the vetting procedure. How many countries now in the world or in Southeast Asia are being preferred, or Afghan nationals are being preferred to be accepted? Ilan ito sila lahat at ilan ang naibigay sa atin? O baka naman ibinigay sa atin lahat, wala yung iba. It's a shared responsibility. It is guaranteed under the UN Charter. We are supposed really to act with kindness to our fellow men. But you know, that is a good statement only if there is no attendant dangers ahead. Mahirap yan. I cannot... there should be more. Hindi ko naman sinasabi ngayon na outright we should not accept. We would like to know how the vetting was done, how the process was being conducted, and in what manner did the Philippines was at that time informed of the coming of foreign nationals in our country. Alam mo, pagkagawa ng Amerikano, made in America, or a thought manufactured by an American thinker, Pastor, I would maybe wait. Let's try to sort out these things, because from my experience, I do not trust the Americans. I really do not trust them. So sorry to say that in public. So I would just read a related article to what we have been discussing. That's Article 2, Section 7 states that the state shall pursue an independent foreign policy and its relations with other states, and the paramount consideration shall be national sovereignty, territorial integrity, national interest, and the right of self-determination. Importante ito, Pastor. And again, I may just also mention yung foreign relations
si Sasot Mayor.
I can consider him a good source through Ugando Sasot discusses the principle of non-refoulement, the fundamental principle of international law that forbids a country receiving asylum seekers from returning them back to the country in which they would be in probable danger of persecution based on total race, religion, nationality, membership of a particular or social group or opinion. So if you are not into democratic ways, that particular group is automatically out of the list. Or political opinion, which would maybe espouse violent means to overthrow a government. Religion, race, wala man tayo. We are not biased against anybody. Not that I know of. Having been president, I can say with certainty that we never had any bias or prejudice against our fellow men in this planet. So, itong problema dito, it says that kung tinanggap na natin sila dito, Pastor, maybe in due time, in our consideration, or maybe changes in the political or social dito sa worldwide, hindi natin sila pwedeng ibalik doon. Pag pinapasok nila sa atin dito, we are now prohibited from returning them to the country of origin. Is that not even say that violently returned? Or because sabihin mo lang, pakiusapan mo, you just talk to them and say, go home to your home country. It forbids a country receiving asylum seekers from returning them to a country in which they would be in a probable danger of persecution based on race. It could be one country sharing an ideology with another one, or a regional region in whatever part of the world that would espouse these things as a persecution, a record of persecution based on race, religion, nationality, membership of a political social group or opinion. In relation to the Afghan nationals whom they should not judge as, we should not judge as refugees, but as economic migrants.
Is the Philippines compelled to become a processing?
Is the Philippines compelled to become a processing center for foreign state intending to host refugees? Itong economic migrants, you know, the war in Vietnam, in Afghanistan was a long and terrible process. At that time, Americans are very bright in this. Alam na, they should have, you know, the horizon was there, political, economic, or otherwise. Bakit hindi nila nag-process na sila noon? At bakit hindi nila sabihin noon pa na pwede ba kayong tumanggap, so that we can also deliberate on our own capacity of how far we can go receiving other people, non-Filipinos. Matagal na sila doon, and they were really on the verge of, for so many years, that government that they were supporting was on the verge of hitting the ground in total collapse. Almost 2 years in the making. Bakit ngayon pa sila So, And ang ayaw ko dito, the penchant of America to jungle words, semantics, economic migrants. So, if they are economic migrants, why don't you just apply visas to any European country? Eh, pera-pera naman pag-usapan pa pala ito, they would be happy to accept them. Kung economic migrants. Why the Philippines? At ilang bayan, how many countries have they asked to accept Afghan refugees? At ilan? We would like to know how many countries have accepted or signified their attention to accept Afghan nationals who are in danger of persecution. Ilan ito sila at how many countries and other concerns, the military should be the one to know this. It is very important that our military must have a say in this matter. The military of the government of the Republic of the Philippines has that sworn sacred duty to protect our country. And I demand, as a Filipino citizen, mahal ko man ang bayan ko, kagaya ninyo, I demand that you do the utmost to protect the country. Not just by sabihin na suddenly, yes, we are available. It's not that. The military of the Republic of the Philippines has a sacred duty to tell us na tama ba ito o sa hindi. It's not just the politicians there. Diplomatic, I mean to say that, well, of course, the ultimate discretion would rest on the president's shoulders. I know that. But the president would not do anything. I am sure of that. President Marcos, kagaya ko, would never treat this matter on our own office of the president. First of all, it is economic, then maybe trade and industry, and the NEDA. But far from it, actually, this is a pure semantic. It is really to gather peoples that supported them, siguro in their desire to protect them also from harm, to gather them and bring them to a country of a shared interest. Okay lang sana ito basta ang Pilipinas nakapag-participate. I said, the military should insist. And if I were the president, I should not resist. The military should say that, Mr. President, we cannot just accept refugees from a country that was waging war of terrorism. At that time, they were both victims and aggressors. Important yan. Ito si revolution. So, patayin kita, patayin mo ako. You kill me and I kill you. So, in that sense, the greater, I said, the greater responsibility rests on the shoulders of the military. And I must say that they should participate, because when things go wrong, it will be the military who will be answerable to the